Welcome to Skyler Jarvis Media.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Skyler Jarvis.
What's up, everybody? This is the Skyler Jarvis Show. I'm your host, Skyler Jarvis. And today I'm interviewing my buddy Carson. Carson's a guy who helped me get my head started in the podcasting. And he's been teaching me a lot for the past, since March, Carson?
Yeah, since March.
Since March. Chris hooked me up with him, and, he helped me get this podcast started. So, shout out to Carson. So, we're gonna be taking a little step back in time here. And we're gonna take it. We're gonna
take it to another level.
Yeah, we're gonna take it in Carson's perspective.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How he started doing podcasts and vlogs and all that good crap.
What made you want to interview me this episode?
Well, just us talking a while back, like before I came up here.
Yeah.
Me and Mama were talking to you about, I asked you a bunch of them questions, and it seemed really interesting to me. And I was like, while we were having a conversation, I was sitting there connecting the dots like, that would be a great podcast.
That would be a great podcast.
Yes. So.
Okay, bro, I'm up for it. I'm ready to get down and tango.
Yeah. So tell them something. Tell them a little something about yourself.
Man, I'm Carson. I be out here. Is that good enough?
Yeah. I guess so. So,
heck yeah. Carson with a dollar sign. That's me. We up in here.
Yep.
Skyler J up in the house. Yeah, I'm from Taylorsville. And that's it.
Were you born in Taylorsville?
I was born, no, actually, technically, I wasn't born in Taylorsville. I believe I was born in Catawba Hospital.
I think I was born at Davis Hospital. I think that's in States or Iredell.
I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
It's either Iredell or Statesville.
Yeah.
But that's where I was born. I lived in Taylorsville my whole life, so.
You lived in Taylorsville your whole life? Yeah, I have too. That's what I've did. I lived in Taylorsville for all my life, but I was born in Catawba.
Right.
That's where I be.
So, what was it like growing up for you?
In Taylorsville?
Yes.
Or just in general?
Well, a little bit of both.
I guess that's all I know, ain't it? Is just Taylorsville.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was, I guess it was pretty cool. I think that I had a good time. I think that I had a blast as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't think that I didn't have a bad childhood.
Me neither, man.
I think that I had a really good childhood. A lot of people have these crazy stories about how they had a really messed up childhood, and I really can't relate with that.
I always try to think on the positive side, like, there might be those things that happen to you, but there's always good times that come with the bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And I believe that I had in terms of my childhood, I think that I had like a really good childhood.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, there was definitely plenty to enjoy growing up.
Yeah.
Me and my brother played Guitar Hero.
I think that it's a lot of it's perspective too.
Yeah, and I mean, growing up in the 2000s in general was just it was a special time to be alive, in my opinion. Like, there was so many things that shaped the world we live in now, with the internet coming out, and by the end of the 2000s you started being able to do Twitter and Facebook, and
you kind of got introduced to the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it was a good decade to be alive. to see all of that happen. You
Yeah,
know,
it was really good.
and whether you think technology has brought out brought out the best or the worst in people, that's that's just opinions. But it what it may be true as well. But
and it, like I was saying just a little bit ago, it's all in
shaped
perspective.
it shaped how we live our lives now.
Like how you view something, and that's what I was saying about like childhood too. Whenever you're talking about people's childhood, that has a lot to do with how they perceive things, how they were treated in their childhood. Usually weighs on them as they become an adult, and then so on when they become an adult. And I think that that's pretty wild too.
Oh yeah, man.
How a lot of people, go through bad times in their childhood, and then it kind of weighs on them in the future as their adult stages if they had like a bad time as a child.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, there's people that's had it worse than us. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh yeah,
we're
most definitely. I think about that all the time whenever whenever I'm shaping my perspective. So like whenever I'm thinking about what's going on in my life or what's going on in general and how I'm perceiving something, because I'm usually very conscious of that, and then I'll start thinking like, this could be way worse. Like if I'm in a bad predicament or something or a bad situation, I'm like, yo, this could definitely be way worse than it is now.
Right. So jump forward, when did you start getting interested in podcasting?
And podcasting?
Yes.
That's a big leap forward.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because that's the now. That's whenever I was a kid, and that's the now.
Oh, okay.
So we, today, I think that it was like a year ago. It was a year ago, but we was talking about starting podcasts beforehand. So before it all, like, I would just have really big conversations or really good conversations with the people around me. I would have very, very good conversations, and just, learn that I really was kind of interested in people, and then just kind of interested in everything, really.
Right.
And just having conversations, because I really enjoy conversations, and I think that I'm to an extent, an extroverted person, but I'm really kind of introverted. So I consider myself like an extroverted introvert. But that goes back to as a kid, I was the only child, and so you
were the only child?
Yeah, I am the only child.
You have no brothers or
I have
sisters?
no brothers, and I have no sisters.
Wow, man, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked, ain't it?
Yeah. So go ahead.
And so I kind of think that kind of shaped how I view people and conversations in general, because I didn't have anybody else to relate to, any siblings to relate to,
right?
Or, I to an extent had to reach out to other people in order to have a connection with other people.
Right. Yeah, I can see how that would affect you in that way.
Yeah. Because I mean, really, I don't have anybody else to relate to besides my parents, but my parents are not my peers.
Right.
So then, I have to have somebody to relate to in the sense of somebody that's my age. So I was always, genuinely curious about how people worked and then how they interact with each other, because we're social creatures, so it's better for us to interact with each other. So as I got older and whatnot, I started to, have really good conversations with people, and I still do. So
But you do.
Yeah,
You
I still
really
do.
do.
Yeah. So I enjoy conversation. So I eventually just started talking. Well, not eventually, just always. I've always had good conversations with people. Like, I know some people that can't keep a conversation worth snot, even if they tried. And
Oh yeah.
And so I noticed that whenever we would have good conversations, I would want to, like, me and Seth, we would always talk about wanting to record the conversations. And, because we would get really, really deep into it.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like anybody. Like, I could get in a really deep conversation with anybody.
Me and you've had several deep conversations.
Yeah, I've had some pretty crazy conversations. There really isn't many things that I haven't really talked about.
Right.
If I think about it, because I guess that's, to the extent that all I know is like talking about something.
Right.
Because I think that as you talk and begin to articulate something, then you kind of learn. I know that I do. Whenever I start to have a conversation with somebody and I'm talking about something that I've just learned or something, and then I'll break it down into like what I think about it and whatnot, and then so I'll begin to learn things about what I've been doing.
Yeah. And I mean,
and recording that is a big part of it as well, because whenever you hear yourself speak, then because I always wanted to be a better communicator, so whenever you put into existence what you think and then record it back to yourself and then hear it, then you're kind of, I know I am, how I view things, I kind of like learn what I sound like and how I sound the way that I do, so then I can kind of, be a better communicator, especially like whenever it comes to communicating with other people.
right. There's times like everybody talks about, I pause way too much. Or sometimes I just go on a tangent about the same thing, and sometimes when I go back and I listen to these podcasts, I'm like, couldn't you have said that a little bit better?
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
I think about that too, and that really doing it over a long period of time kind of helps you.
It helps
understand.
you articulate it better.
Exactly,
Yes.
because then if you are saying something and maybe you're saying something over and over again, you can also be like, oh, so, I notice I've been talking about this too much or this. And then I know me, I kind of like want to like switch it up sometimes after I've been. But even that, like if you hear something that you say quite often, like, and I also say filler words as well. That's a big one, like saying or
yes, definitely.
Or, it kind of expands your vocabulary too if you want to start talking about other things and then start talking about, and just kind of your reach as a conversationalist.
That's kind of why I want to get different guests on the podcast and like be able to talk to them, individually and have in-depth conversations with other people.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
from that point too, like what I was just saying, man, it's not just like, of course it is good to have conversations with other people and also record that as well, because that's kind of what I got into. But like I was telling you a while back, I think that some other people, not just you're pretty good at it and you're better than me at it, like talking as a monologue, as in like just not talking to anybody too, because I know I'm not as good at that as well. That's why I always need like another person on here on the podcast, because I can do a monologue as in, talking to the camera directly, and, it's just one continuous, talk with myself basically, or like how you do the boss rants. That's like a continuous talk.
That's what the boss rants are for.
Yeah, continuous talk with like another person.
Whenever I want to go and just talk about something that's on my mind, or talk about like, I did one on GTA recently.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I kind of felt like I was repeating a lot on there, but, and
that you learn as you go.
It's something that everybody has loved, the boss rants I've done in the past. Yeah. And I think y'all are going to like this one, but, I'm just getting started with doing personal podcasts like that. So, I feel like I'm getting better as time goes on.
Yeah, and that's like, do you know a guy named Theo Vaughn?
I think I've heard of him.
He's pretty good at that. Like, and there's kind of different categories of, podcasts as well, where some of them aren't just like, I guess they are podcast. I really don't even know what the definition of a podcast is, if you want me to be honest with you. But like I think of like a talk show to an extent, or like radio station that is just,
Right.
just conversation or whatnot, whether it be. But Theo Vaughn, he's very good at on his show. He's very good at doing monologues, as in like talking just to the camera. So I think that I also think that I don't believe that you're as self-conscious as some other people would be too. So I think that makes you a little bit braver.
Yeah.
To do, because, just to the extent of your vision, some people look at it as a negative too, because, and I've had to get comfortable with being on camera myself, and I don't think, do you think that you have to still adapt to that, just being on camera?
Not really.
You think about it that much?
What I did when I first started doing it, man, I was sitting there like, man, everybody's gonna be able to see this. What am I gonna say?
Yeah.
What am I gonna talk about?
Uh-huh. Was you nervous to do it at first?
I was.
Really?
I was just like, I don't. Chris just asked me one day. He was like, "Do you want to do a podcast?" And
Yeah.
I was just like, "Sure."
Like, I never
why
thought
not?
about that
Why
before.
not?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, he was wanting to do a podcast with me anyway.
Yeah.
But we got here, and I was just like, okay, he told me this was your house, and I was like, okay, Carson, what am I supposed to talk about? How am I, how am I
Yeah.
supposed to articulate it?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
I was like that whenever I first started too,
but
but
I felt like
not even that. I still sometimes thinking about it too.
nowadays. I mean, it didn't take me long to adjust,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, and then you started to enjoy it.
I really started to enjoy it, and I looked forward to it because, it was a way for me to just get out of the house and do something for a bit,
Yeah.
And that's what really motivates me to do it, is that, I've pretty much been, from 2020 to 23, everything was just kind of, I was isolated. I
Yeah.
didn't, and then I met Chris, and Chris just introduced me to a lot of people in Taylorsville.
Yeah. He meets a lot of people.
Yeah, and I mean, I had met Phil and Linda before, but
Mm-hmm.
they started, man, I tell you, Linda Stoner, you know her.
Oh yeah.
But when we met her, we met her at Brushy right before Chris had bought it out,
Yeah.
and we came there, and we came out and talked, and then we seen a flashing light. Me and Mama seen a flashing light.
Flashing light.
Yeah, I think it was something on the door, but
Where?
at Brushy.
Oh.
Yeah. So we see this flashing light, and me and Mama are like, "What was that? Was that a disco ball or something?"
Uh-huh.
And Linda goes, "I'm just surprised how he can see that."
Yeah. What was it?
It was a sign on the door.
Oh, it was a sign on the
We
door.
finally figured out what it was.
Yeah.
Right when Chris had bought it out, we finally figured out what it was. It was a sign showing the time that the bar was open.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Chris, Chris has shown me a lot
Yeah.
ever since I've met him, and he did something for my family. His mom came to my Mama Wilson's funeral.
Oh yeah.
And
That's awfully sweet.
that meant a lot to me, and I really appreciate that. That
Yeah, she's a really sweet woman.
yes, she is. She is. Shout out to Gloria.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Big shout out. What was you saying?
So when when did you start actually doing podcasts?
Probably about a little over a year ago.
Okay.
Me and Seth started to get into it, and we just finally was like, yeah, let's just buy whatever we need. I was like, yeah, we just need so and so, and then so we both went half and half on all of the equipment and whatnot, and then we just started filming it. We started getting in the groove, and it was like, whenever we do this, just gotta be consistent. We started getting in groove, and then I started to kind of figure out what to post, when to post, how to post. There's a bunch of technical shit that gets along with it too.
Right.
Like not just, it's not just sitting down having a conversation. I really think that the podcast itself is actually like, I don't even know if it's half the work. I think that it's like doing the actual podcast itself is like, I'll probably say like 25% of the work. Because, if you have the podcast, like just recording it, not even recording it, but just talking back and forth is like 25% of it.
Right.
And then there's the percent of like, the logistics of everything. Like you need the equipment, you need to figure out how to record the conversation. You also need to figure out how to see the conversation, and then you got to figure out, how are you going to post it? Where are you going to post it? And then is my computer going to be able to do this? Is this going to be able to be fine for the situation? Or do we need to get new equipment? Then we just run into all kinds of different, potential pitfalls as we go.
Right.
Start to learn more and more about it. I know I learned a lot of how to do stuff on the computer, and especially to an extent kind of editing too, because I kind of got into editing and chopping up clips of the podcast, or I got really, really big into editing after.
You are really good at editing, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it just takes a lot of time.
By the way,
it takes a lot of time to do that shit.
I heard Mama say this morning. I think she said something about she wants to see the uncut thing of it.
Oh, the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see. I think that I still may have it.
Okay.
I should, because I'm constantly dealing with large files all the time.
Right.
So I kind of have to clear the chips out as I start, because I film so many videos and I film so many things that I'm pretty sure that I stuck it into the hard drive though. So, and usually I like to clear things out of the hard drive too, because they fill up pretty quick too.
Okay, so I was gonna suggest maybe putting it on a DVD or something.
Yeah, bro, we can definitely do that.
So because Mama said she wanted to see the whole family in there.
Heck yeah,
and
we can definitely do that.
The one on YouTube's definitely a good version. Yeah, it was just a compilation of everything that was.
Well, I didn't really cut much.
No, you didn't, but I mean, it was still good. It was still good regardless, bro. It was seamless the way you did that, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody that I've there's people that's come up to me and been like, or Mama or Papa or somebody from the family and be like, hey, I saw that video. That was good. I like what you did for your grandparents. And I'm like,
yeah. That's awesome.
That's definitely to show how important they are to it.
Yeah, they're good people.
They are good people, and yeah, I'm telling you. No, whenever Papa was saying, don't listen to anything Chrissy says, because she was dropped on her head several times as a kid by her mama.
Yeah. Dang.
That is pure Papa right there.
That's pure Papa.
That's Papa to a T.
Pure Papa.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Yeah, pure Papa.
He can talk some shit if he wants to.
Yeah, he can. Dang, he was going ham.
He is a He's a great man.
No,
Shout
the
out
dog
to Papaw.
ain't. The dog ain't though.
You don't like.
He's a mud, ain't he?
You don't like Bobo?
No, he's a mud, ain't he? He almost bit me, man.
I don't blame you, bro.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say I don't blame him.
No, I mean he. There's times I'll try to love on him, honestly.
Yeah. And then
he'll just try. He'll snap.
he'll
at
like
me.
growl at you and try to bite you.
Yeah.
That mother beep.
Oh man.
Yeah, we ain't with that.
You know, that's a classic. That's the way you ended it with Bobo. That was classic, man. That was
classic.
That was classic.
That was straight classic. That's from the OG times. We are currently living in the OGs.
Everybody's gonna remember seeing the dog, seeing Carson try to pet Bobo, and he just
yeah. Yo. Yeah, Bobo going crazy, stupid ham. Matter of fact, going insane.
That dog got some screen time for sure. They were part of he's part of Mama and Papa's family, so
Yeah.
I guess fair share.
Shout out.
Shout out Bobo.
Shout out to Bobo.
Little butt.
Yeah, bro. That's a pretty good video.
Man. Yeah, that was a good video. And the drumming vlog. We need to, I really want to get.
And you went really ham with the drumming vlog too.
I really
want to get you another one.
Yes, I really want to get the double bass set up.
We got to get you one where we was listening to the other day. We got to get you a song where yeah.
Yes.
Who was it that we was listening to that was going just stupid crazy? Like Behemoth.
Yeah.
Oh man, that man.
Yeah, he's
that right there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
He's
you doing
a good drummer. He's a good drummer.
Yeah. Could you do that?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
We got to hear it.
I couldn't play the whole song, but I
really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a long song. Well, a lot of it's
not
a long
necessarily
songs.
a long song. It's
fairly,
it's fairly average for a song.
Because whenever I think of like Metallica makes long songs.
Yeah, Metallica. Yeah,
they go for so long too. I mean, there's other, especially them the hair bands or like the 80s bands from the 80s.
Uh-huh.
I think that as time went on, songs got shorter.
Yeah, I mean they got more mainstream. I mean I don't know how else to put it. You know, but when Metallica started out, they were just straight metal. Mm-hmm. And you had Kill 'Em All, you had Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets,
like thrash.
Yes,
more thrash. They didn't
Master
like
of
come
Puppets.
up with thrash or something.
Yeah, they came up them Slayer, Anthrax, and
Slayer.
Megadeth.
Yeah, Slayer goes wild.
Yeah, Slayers.
Megadeth. Oh wow, really? You think that they would? I guess they was in that time, wasn't they?
I think Dave Mustaine.
I thought they came like after Metallica.
Because Dave Mustaine was originally in Metallica.
Oh really? Who is that?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. Who is that?
Dave Mustaine.
No, I don't know who that is.
The lead singer of Megadeth.
Oh, who was he to Metallica?
He was Dave Mustaine.
Who's Dave? Yeah, but what did he do? What
guitar.
He played the guitar.
Yeah,
oh,
he was a
and
guitarist.
then he became the
lead singer and guitarist of Megadeth.
Oh wow! So he played the guitar and sing.
I guess so.
Wow. Nah, people that can do that is crazy, man.
Yes, man. Shout out.
Wild. Shout out.
I'm honestly not that big of a Megadeth fan, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I think some of them are alright. I like 99 Ways to Die.
I mean, that's all. I like some songs by them, but I just didn't.
I don't know many songs. I think that's like one of the only ones that I know.
Much. Metallica. It took me a minute to get into Metallica.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
My dad always used to listen to Metallica.
Master of Puppets was good. Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning's amazing.
Yes, that's a great album.
It is. That one and definitely Master of Puppets.
Yes, Master of Puppets crushes. Ah!
Yeah, what's that other one, though?
And Justice for All.
The one with Seek and Destroy.
Kill 'Em All.
Yeah. Yep. That one was pretty good, too.
That was good. Yeah, that was their first album.
Yeah.
That one, Dave Mustaine was actually credited for writing some of them songs with him.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think Seek and Destroy was one of them. I don't know for sure.
Haven't they always had the same singer?
Yeah.
That's the same lead singer?
James Hetfield, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know any of the names to any of these people. I really don't. I just know the bands themselves.
Right. Machine Head. You asked me what band or what drummer really made me like, whoa, I'm done.
Uh-huh.
It was Become the Firestorm by Machine Head.
Oh, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, man, those are crazy.
Stand strong and fight through the scars.
Yeah.
Distended, twisted, and torn.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
It's an amazing song.
Become the firestorm.
Whoa.
The firestorm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man, we're going to get you to play that. Can you play that
Gosh,
one?
I can't. No, not Become the Firestorm.
You can't play that one?
No.
Dude, Skyler. I bet you could, bro. I really bet you could.
I could play some parts of it, but
some parts of it. You can't play the fast parts?
no.
Dude. How long would it take you to learn that?
Gosh, bro, it would take me years.
You really think so?
Probably so, man. I mean,
I want to see you to your limits, Skyler.
Oh,
I want to
man.
see you push your limits with the drums. Well, I want to
You're
see how
gonna
far.
see that on the next drum vlog. Trust
Really?
me.
You're
man.
gonna do the craziest one that you ever did.
Yeah, if I can get the daggone double bass set up right.
Yeah, we gotta get what's his face over there. Who'd you say knows how to set up the double bass?
Frank. Yeah.
We gotta
Frank.
get Frank over here.
Shout out Frank if you're listening to my podcast. I need your help getting the double
Shout
bass
out
started.
to Frank.
Set up at the brushy.
Frank's the master drum put together.
Oh man, yes he is.
Yes, he is.
Man, I
He definitely is.
have never seen anybody in my life put together and take apart a drum set quicker than this man.
Yeah,
Oh.
shout goes out to Frank. For
Shout
sure.
out to Frank, man.
He'll have it done in no time. Can you hook up the double bass good too?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Shout out to Frank. Does he know how to play drums?
Yeah, he plays drums a little bit. He's more a guitar and bass player.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wow, yeah, but he knows how to put it
But
together.
he knows how to
everything.
play drums and everything.
He knows how to put together everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out goes to Frank. Big shout out to Frank. Big Frank stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, we're gonna get you pushing your limits on the next one.
Heck yeah. I really want to get something like that on camera.
Yeah, man.
Especially the way you did it. Like I
Get you
love
going wild.
Yes, I love your style, bro. The way you did the video, the drumming vlog.
Yeah.
You got me from all kinds of different angles, and and the sound, it's, you can hear every note.
Every note.
And I mean,
Yeah, you could.
when when Mama used to record me on the drums at home, the video quality was so shit.
Was it?
I mean, it was good if you sent
It
it
was
through
480p.
Messenger, but it was good if you sent it through Messenger. But the sound would just be crap.
Well, that's also a part of whenever you send. There's only select few ways that you can send a large file and it be full quality, because whenever you send it through any sort of platform, then all the video and all the audio in the video gets compressed.
right.
So whenever you send it through, say, text messages, any social media messages, then it'll, kind of compress the video itself so that it's not as big. So they kind of knock off a lot of the quality of the video. That's why I don't ever send videos through messages.
Yeah.
I don't ever do it because I'm like a fanatic for quality. Like I want to try to get. I've always wanted to get to like the best quality I can possibly get.
I understand completely.
So I'd never ever send any of the videos that I make to other people, except for like you have to do it a certain way. You have to
Right.
either you can airdrop
airdrop it,
but it
yeah.
takes such a long time. I miss they made it a lot more complicated now on the Macs for some reason. That like if you connect your phone to it. You used to could just be able to take files from your computer and just drop them directly into your phone. And I miss that whenever you could do that because that made it so much easier because it's, just a point of contact. But I think that they still do it, but I have no idea how to do it. And I don't know. There's a lot more barriers in between it than what it was like, say, 10 years ago.
I'm finding
or 5
that with
years ago.
with a lot of the internet nowadays.
Well, that's not even the internet. That's just how they set up their computers now.
Right.
Is that you can't seamlessly drop files from your computer straight to your phone now. Like you have to go through a bunch more barriers in order to do that. But I use iCloud sometimes. So whatever I put into iCloud, it'll all just leak over into all my other devices if they're connected to the iCloud. So I can access those files anytime.
That's the good thing about an iPhone and Mac.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can do that with Google Drive. You can do that with other sorts of things too. And Google Drive is a good one too. I just don't have one set up because then I would have to pay for it, but I already pay for, iCloud.
Right.
So, I mean,
I think iCloud's a lot better than Google. If I'm being honest.
iCloud, yeah, I think so too.
Because
I think
you
it's
could get
way
different-
easier to load.
Exactly.
Man. Like whenever I
It
go
loads seamlessly between your devices if you have it synced.
Yeah, and I've had like Google Drives before, and I've had people send me stuff through Google Drives, and then I'll open it in the Google Drive, and then it takes forever to load. Like either it won't load, something will happen. Of course you got to log in and all that stuff, and it just gets. I think that it's harder to use Drive than it is for
With iCloud,
but Apple does that. Apple's like famous for doing stuff like that.
Apple, with the good thing about iCloud is that if you've done something on one device, all you have to do is download it. It'll show the file and it'll show you can download it. And if you download it, you can just carry on what you were doing on your phone, what you were doing on your iPad, for example.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's what I like so much about.
Are you talking about like whenever you get a new device too?
Yeah.
Or is it just whenever you get a new device?
Yeah, I mean, anything really. I mean, like if you were doing something on your Mac, right?
Yeah.
And you have it synced to your iCloud.
Oh yeah, then I can pick it up on my phone.
Then you can pick it up on your phone and continue what you were doing on your Mac on your phone.
Yeah. I do that with my numbers and with like do that with my numbers. Of course, photos. All my photos. Man, I have probably about 1,000. Actually, I have about 20,000 photos.
Man.
On my phone, and I have about 700 videos on my phone.
Woo!
For real. I think I have a terabyte of iCloud storage.
Gosh, bro.
Yeah, I have 16,726 photos and 806 videos.
Woo! Wow, bro. Apple, I remember showing my dad whenever I got my first iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I had an iPad previous to it. So when I got my phone, I was showing Dad how seamlessly you could like continue a conversation and messages on one device. And I had him. I think what I did is I had him send me a message. I was like, "Hey, Dad."
Yeah.
And then he sent me one back, and then I picked up the iPad, And I said, now see, that's all our conversation synced right there.
Oh, yeah, because they're all synced to all the devices.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, that's cool as shit.
That's crazy as hell, ain't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that is pretty crazy, man. How you can do that.
I have it synced to where it'll sync everything, like messages, photos.
I have that too, but
Yeah.
here whenever I got this new computer, whenever I really wanted to transfer all my settings that was on my MacBook to my computer, but I had already used it was 500 gigabytes worth of data that I had to transfer from my computer to from my MacBook to my other computer, to my new one. And then, on top of that, whenever you first get a computer, you have to restart it every so often and use it in order for it to kind of get the juices flowing, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because whenever you first start with a computer and it hasn't been running, or it's never ran before, it gets kind of laggy to begin with until it starts getting into the motion.
Right.
So I was just trying to do that, and it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't transfer all the data. I tried to do it a couple different times, and it kept on crashing because it's just so much data to transfer over. Yeah. And sometimes the memory won't work whenever it has so much. So then I just eventually gave up on it. I was like, you know what? We're just gonna connect my iCloud to this, and then we're also going to put just original settings on there. I'm just basically gonna copy all my settings from my MacBook. And you can transfer so many settings too. You can transfer like settings from one computer to another. You can transfer. It's like, I don't know what it's called. It's like the help, like transfer help or something that Apple's made.
That is cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Is pretty cool.
I was about to look it up, but I kind of don't know what to look up. What was the app called? What is it called, man?
Oh gosh.
Transfer help or something like that.
Help.
Yeah, I don't know. But I tried that, and it kept on crashing whenever I tried to transfer everything from my computer. But then I was like, 500 gigabytes, I bet a lot of that stuff can just stay on this computer, and then I just don't have to transfer it. I can just keep it on my computer, and I transfer everything as needed. So I think that's what I ended up doing.
Right. Yeah, man. I remember I really wanted to learn how to use a Mac, with voiceover and everything.
Yeah.
So this guy at my school, his name was Skyler Clark.
Skyler Clark.
Yeah, he spelled
Skyler Jarvis versus Skyler Clark.
Yeah, he spelled his name with an O-R.
Skyler
Clark.
Sky L-O-R.
Shout out Skyler Clark.
Shout out to Skyler Clark. Yeah, big time shout out. Wow, Skyler Clark, you've done a good one.
Yeah. So he would come like every week, I think.
Oh yeah.
To every Tuesday and Thursday to teach me how to use a Mac.
Really?
I told the librarian at the time, Miss Perez, that I wanted to learn how to use a Mac, and she was like, "Oh, I got just the person to teach you."
Really? It was Skyler Clark.
And she was like, "His name is Skyler, just like yours."
But it's not just like yours.
Right, but it's spelled with an O-R.
Yeah, so she was lying to you.
No, I mean, she wasn't lying. She just... So...
I mean, I guess kind of she was.
But anyway...
So just like yours.
Anyway, she... she hooked me up...
With Skyler
Clark. And we would sit in the back of the library.
Yeah.
And he would show me all kinds of different things, and I started to learn quick. Like, I would go use the Mac in the cottages.
Yeah.
To transfer music from... I had an Android phone at the time. It was Samsung. So I'd use it to transfer stuff from my Samsung phone or a flash drive. Or my Samsung phone over to a flash drive. Either that or on my iPad.
Yeah.
I was really starting to get into doing it and putting it on my iPad.
So what'd you end up doing?
Well, I was learning fast, pretty much.
Yeah.
Skyler was like, man, he's learning quick. He is
Skyler,
learning quick.
Skyler said to Skyler.
Skyler said to Skyler.
That Skyler, I am Skyler as well.
And I think I'm going to wrap it up on that note.
Okay. Let's wrap this beep up, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Skyler Jarvis, Carson Bowman, signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Skyler has left the building. Hey, bro, don't you want to say anything?